Good evening, my friend, and welcome to heat race number 3 of 4 for the Oktoberfest 300 presented by XCAL Racing. My name's PDJ Zeller, and you are listening to Tella TV. As always, Tanner Kalin doing the fantastic work behind the cameras. As I said, we are here from Irwindale, California, getting ready for the third of 4 heat races, the final heat race of tonight for the XCAL Racing League's 300-lap affair tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern at the Irwindale Speedway. The first 2 heat races were pretty darn good. The first one went wire to wire with no cautions. We saw an epic battle for the win between Kenny Tripp and John Schwartz. In the end, it was Tripp who came out on top victorious. And then in heat race number 2, we saw Octavio Rondoletto put a whooping on the field as Luke Turpin returned to action. He was certainly the second place car. Rondoletto had the field covered in heat race number 2. Now here we are in heat race number 3, and we are wrapping up qualifying. Still a good-sized field. Looks like we're around about 15 cars taking the green flag. 10 will transfer to the feature event. Looks like we should have close to a full field tomorrow. Actually, we have 16 drivers in here right now with about 30 seconds left to go in qualifying. And a lot of guys who typically aren't qualifying near the front of the field are going to have a chance at some good spots in this one as we get ready to get things underway. This should be a doozy of a race tomorrow. I'll tell you what, I'm excited for the Oktoberfest 300 presented by XCAL Racing. Really good track Irwindale is for the street stocks. You can get a lot of good racing action around the circuit. A lot of different lanes to race on. A lot of different places to make moves, make passes. A lot of different types of styles of driving that can be supported here at the Irwindale Speedway. That's part of the reason why the XCAL Racing League goes here, is just because of the diversity this track brings to the racing styles of the drivers. As qualifying officially wraps up, and yep, the number is 16. We'll have 16 drivers looking to take the green flag here, as this one should be good. 10 go to the main event and join the 20 drivers that have transferred already through the first 2 heats. And here is your starting lineup. Sitting on pole position, that is number 1 is Tyler Jalbert in the 04 car. In second in the number 2 is going to be Benjamin Eaton. In third in the number 30 is going to be Eric Edison. In fourth in the number 4 is Michael DeLong. In fifth in the number 5 is Derek Colson. In sixth in the number 82 is going to be Alex Gangler. Seventh in the 62 is going to be Fred Robital. Eighth in the number 55 will be Keith Frazier. Ninth in the 37 will be Arthur Hendren. And 10th will be the 83 of Kevin Cote-Dion. 11th will be Jay DeBuke. 12th will be Jeremy Leto. 13th, Danny Chandler. 14th, Zach Leduc. 15th will be Matthew Bear. And rounding out the field, riding shotgun on the field, and 16th will be the number 18. That is Ryan B. Pierce. So that is your starting lineup here for this heat race. That will be 50 laps to determine which 10 drivers move on to the feature event. So we get ready to get things underway. Tyler Jalbert sitting on the pole. His teammate Kenny Tripp already won a heat race earlier, and his other teammate Tyler Batchelder finished third in that same heat race. So that mainly asphalt guys have been running pretty strong as of late, and we'll see if their good luck continues over into this heat race. The field right now is just waiting on the third place of Eric Edison to get in his car and get all strapped in and ready to go, because everyone else is out there on the track. Looks like they're ready to go. Jalbert on the inside. On the outside, it will be that 2-car of Benjamin Eaton. His teammate Patrick Sullivan already transferred earlier, as did his other teammate Bruce Helmuth. So Eaton, the last of those teammates that need to make it into the feature event. Qualifying was pretty close up top. Jalbert won the pole by 9 1/1000ths of a second over Ben Eaton. Edison wasn't really too far behind them either. Really, everyone was kind of close to each other. So everyone is officially gridded, and we'll get these pace laps underway. We'll run 2 pace laps here before, like I said, we run 50 laps of green flag racing action around the Irwindale Speedway. Cautions will be admin and administrated, which means the caution won't fly due to iRacing's perception of a caution. The caution will only fly if the live race admin, Aaron Hilbush, decides to throw one, and XCAL only throws cautions if it's a accident that's truly worthy of a caution, blocking the raceway, things that people say in real life. We're trying to keep it as realistic as possible here at XCAL Racing. XCAL Racing believes an iRacing event should be ran like a simulator, and gosh darn it, that's what they strive to do. So the field comes to the flag stand. The white flag is waved one more time until we go green flag racing here from the Irwindale Speedway. Once again, you're tuned in live to XCAL Racing Heat Race number 3 for the Oktoberfest 300 on Tella TV. So excited to bring you coverage of this event and all XCAL events. As the field comes off of turn number 2, that iRacing Ford Mustang makes the hard left-hand turn into pit lane. Field is now at the mercy of the 04 of Tyler Jalbert. Jalbert brings him down, slowly crawling through turns 3 and 4. He gets to the restart zone. It's up to him when he wants to go. He goes now. Green flag in the air. We're down and away, and Jalbert with a good jump there, but it's Eaton hanging tough on the outside. Eaton rides all the way up against that wall, and Benjamin Eaton with a nice run off the corner. He's going to take the lead away from Jalbert for the time being. Edison in second's going to slide up in the line, going to let Jalbert actually slide up in a second. As DeLong goes to the outside now of the 30, DeLong gets shoved out of the way. He'll be mired back now in a battle with Derek Colson. Colson on the low side trying to take away the 5th spot from DeLong. Colson slides it in down low, nothing doing yet, as now we have the 30 car looking to make a move on Tyler Jalbert. Eaton solidly in the lead as they continue to race for 4th and 5th. DeLong and Colson do. DeLong gets loose. Colson comes up the racetrack. Colson has a hole. He doesn't take it. Colson now will be mired in 4th still. He just can't quite clear Michael DeLong. DeLong once again drives it in a little deep. Colson gets the run off. Let's see what happens here in 3 and 4. Good chance here for Colson to do a slide job. Colson drives it deep down into the corner, but DeLong gets into the corner deeper. It's going to be DeLong's position as we had some sort of car go around. I see smoke on the speedway. DeLong on the high side has 4th that time by as the battle for 2nd starts to heat up. Benjamin Eaton's opened up about a 1-second lead on the field. Tyler Jalbert struggling to get that car to stick right now. Looks like he's a little loose to start this runoff. Looking around in the transfer spots. Right now we have Jay DeBuke in 11th and Danny Chandler in 10th. So, okay, the battle for the transfer spot up there is getting tighter by the lap. That one's an exciting one. As up front, not a whole lot's changed. Here we go, battle for 2nd. The 30 car of Edison goes to the inside of Jalbert. Nothing doing there. Edison now is going to be tucked into a battle with the 0 car of Michael DeLong. DeLong goes to the outside as Colson continues to run to his inside. Colson hangs on to it. Good save there by Derek. Car around on the speedway. That's Matthew Bear. Bear's just going to get that thing back going and keep it facing the right way as they go 3 wide with Bear now. That's Gangler on the outside. Bear was on the bottom and Day Rotel was in the middle. They're all going to get clear of that, though, and keep it going as the battle for 2nd is as intense as ever. Jalbert, not as quick as I expected him to be. That 04 car struggling right now to find speed. Looks like that 30 of Edison has his number. Here comes Edison to the inside. Eric Edison with a move to the low side. Edison's going to drive it down into the corner. A good run here through 3 and 4 could get him the spot. He gets off the corner, and he's not quite clear. Jalbert on the outside gets a good run back to the stripe. That time by, it was Jalbert by a few 1,000ths. Meanwhile, though, while these guys race for 2nd, it's Benjamin Eaton with about a 2.5-second lead over the rest of the field. I mean, that 2 car is absolutely checking out on these guys right now. It's all Ben Eaton up front. So we have about 5 guys under a blanket racing for 2nd. Really, no one can find a way around Tyler Jalbert right now, though, which is bad news for everyone else, because I think once they get some heat in the tires and once this gets to a longer run, I think Jalbert's going to have a quicker car, but for the time being, he's just having a rough start here getting that 04 machine going. That time off the corner, Jalbert holds on to the spot, and the 30 car still runs tightly in behind him. Edison looking for somewhere to race as Derek Colson and DeLong still go at it for 4th like they have for pretty much the whole race so far. Transfer spots, Danny Chandler still runs in 10th, right behind him in 11th, Jay DeBuke. DeBuke not losing any ground right now to Chandler. And then Jeremy Leto's about another 3 seconds behind them. As this best battle on the track, though, still that battle for 2nd. But like I said, we have 2nd through 6th pretty much all under a blanket right now, as Eaton continues to open up a lead. And the only time it seems like Jalbert's about to get a little bit of an advantage over here on Edison, Edison just pulls right back up to him. Edison now to the inside, just looking for some place to race. Nowhere to race yet. It's Jalbert still showing the fast way around the track in 2nd position. Really Eaton, though, this kind of came out of nowhere. He raced number 2. He ran, and he was struggling to find speed. That car wasn't looking all that good. And his team made some adjustments towards the end of that practice that they said they felt good about. Now that car's out on the racetrack, and there's no doubt who's the fastest car on the track. It's that 2 car of Eaton, as he is just eating up laps right now, as we have been caution-free so far, as I knock on wood in this one. The 30 of Edison continues to work that bumper. The 04 as Michael DeLong drives it in really deep and almost hits the wall coming off the corner. That cost him quite a bit of ground on 2nd and 3rd, and that'll allow Derek Colson to catch back up to them. Good run right now in 6th for Fred Robitale. We've never heard of him, but his first time running with XCAL, he's running up near the front, same as Eric Edison. lot of new faces here in this heat race. We have had a change for the transfer spot. Jay Dubuque has got around Danny Chandler, so move up Dubuque one more spot, although now that battle's on for 10th as Jeremy Leto's caught both those guys. Leto goes to the outside, the 24 car trying to get up into 10th into that last transfer spot. It's Dubuque down low, Leto on the high side, that time by the stripe. It was Dubuque in the transfer spot, but it's Leto on the high side with a run of steam as Chandler hits the wall, and Jay Dubuque is going to lose the transfer spot now. Jeremy Leto, as still losing ground, is going to be Danny Chandler, so a good run there for Leto. Leto works his way up into a transfer spot now as Jay Dubuque is just one position out. Dubuque still trying to find his ground right now. As up here we have a great battle going on for 5th. Fred Robitaille's gone to the inside of Derek Colson as now a lap car comes up on them cars. Ryan Pierce. Pierce 4 laps down, not a factor here. Colson is going to clear Robitaille. He'll hang on to 5th for the time being. That lap car of Pierce, though, really causing some havoc here for these top few cars. The battle for second still as tight as ever. Jalbert and Edison are all over each other. They're now 3.5 seconds behind the leader of Eaton. Eaton continues to walk away from the field. He's putting down some hot laps right now, and he's able to because he has such a big lead on the field. He's able to just take it easy as he goes around the lap car of Danny Chandler. You're not missing too much there. Looking back, though, here we go. Battle for 4th now, excuse me, as Derek Colson's all over the bumper of Michael DeLong. Colson looks to the inside. Nothing there. The 18 car gives Colson a bump. You hope that the 18 car just shows a little respect being 4 laps down. And he's just really trying to work his way to the high side of the 5 car. Now he almost cuts across the bumper of the 62. And I'm really not sure. Pierce isn't the guy that ever runs with us either, so I'm kind of curious why Pierce is out here racing so hard with the lead lap cars. Pierce just, I guess, wants to get some practice in with these guys right now as Colson's all over the bumper of DeLong. DeLong goes up the racetrack. He washes up. Colson gets the run off the corner. Here we go. Battle for the 4th position. Colson on the inside in that 5 Levi Garrett car. Oh, car routes Tyler Jalbert. Caution will fly. Jalbert goes flipping up the speedway as Michael DeLong goes flipping as well. That'll bring out the yellow. Tough break there from Michael DeLong, who was an innocent bystander. He's going to get that car flipped back over. He's going to get back going, so he might be okay. As Alex Gangler also has come to a stop. Not sure what happened there to Alex Gangler, as I'm looking at the replay, and he didn't get a piece of that from what I've seen. No, Gangler really didn't get any piece of that. I don't know why he chose to come to a stop and remove his car from the racetrack, but Gangler did. So that takes out 2 cars right there. 2 very competitive cars, and Tyler Jalbert, Alex Gangler, and Michael DeLong's still out there. Michael DeLong, I think, is going to be able to continue on, so he is still in the fight. For Jalbert, though, he's going to have to go to heat race number 4. I don't think he's eligible for a provisional. And looking at, as you guys will now see the replay, my friend, this will shake up things a little bit, though. Eaton will still be the leader. That'll move Edison into 2nd. 3rd will be Derek Colson. 4th will be Fred Robitaille. 5th will be Arthur Hendren. 6th, Jeremy Leto. 7th, Keith Frazier. 8th, Jay Dubuque. And 9th will be Michael DeLong. As Alex Gangler actually had a connection issue, he has been, his receive fell through, so he is no longer in the session. That is a tough break there for Gangler, who's in a transfer spot. The final car now in a transfer spot will be the 83 of Kevin Cote Dion, as Danny Chandler is in 11th, the first car out, then Matthew Barron 12th. So we'll have to see how these transfer spots kind of shake out, as we're going to take a 30-second break for station identification. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. And welcome back here to Telesign TV and heat race number 3 of 4 for the XCAL Racing Oktoberfest 300. The number 30 car of Eric Edison was credited for that caution due to the contact he made with Tyler Jalbert. He was given a end-of-the-line penalty. That'll move Derek Colson up to second now as race control is going to delay the restart one more time. We are halfway down, halfway to go. Here will be your top 10 when we get restarted. Here's an accurate updated top 10. Benjamin Eaton in first, second Derek Colson, third Fred Robitaille, fourth Arthur Hendren, fifth Jay DeBuke, sixth Jeremy Leto, seventh Eric Edison, eighth Keith Frazier, ninth Kevin Cote-Dion, and 10th will be Matthew Bear. Your first four, I'll tell you really the cars that are out that are in contention right now is Danny Chandler. Danny Chandler is one lap down in 11th, and really everyone else is kind of out of contention at this point. So 11 cars going for 10 spots. You love to see it, and it's going to be pretty close there between Kevin Cote-Dion, Matthew Bear, and Danny Chandler all one lap down. Here they come down the backstretch. Pace car makes that hard left-hand turn. They come into turns 3 and 4. It's Eaton on the inside, Colson on the high side. It's up to Eaton, when and where he wants to go. Eaton wants to go now. Green flag in the air. They're down and away. And Eaton with a big jump there, but he changed lanes before he got to the start-finish line. Race control could give him a black flag if they wanted to. It's probably more likely he gets a warning there. But that was something that race control will have to address. So Eaton in the top spot now. Colson slides into second. We'll see if race control does assess a penalty for that, because that is something that, as far as the XCAL rulebook is concerned, that's a black flag right there. That's one of those ones where race control, if it's your first time making that offense and you're not someone who's doing something like that often, sometimes race control will just give you a warning. But yeah, you got to stay in your lane until you get to the start-finish line, and the two car clearly did not. As we get under green here, looking through the field, we have a good battle going on for... I was about to say we have a good battle going on for fourth, but it looks like it's just Jeremy Leto up in that position now. Someone must have had some sort of problem, as it looks like... No, I'm just mistaken. Nobody had any sort of issue. We're still running here under green. Jeremy Leto's in fourth. Jay DeBuke is in fifth, and Leto's getting all sorts of pressure from Ryan Pierce, who's 4 laps down. Pierce beating and banging on that number 24 car right now. Up front, Fred Robitaille is all over Derek Colson. And Colson's not really losing ground right now to the two of Ben Eaton, I'd like to say as well. Eaton not able to just pull away from these guys like he was doing earlier in the race. Still, we have 10 cars in transfer spots. As the battle for the transfer spots actually getting pretty heated up with the 83 car of Kevin Cote-Dion in that spot. Shortly behind him, though, you have Matthew Bear, Danny Chandler not too far behind them either, so that one could get interesting before this one's over. As looking through the racetrack now, we have Robitaille all over Colson as the leader. Eaton does start to get a little ground. Robitaille goes into the wall. It's going to be Colson hanging on a second for the time being. Robitaille, the 62 car, the Canadian native. We haven't heard his name yet be part of XCAL, but here he is running pretty well in this heat race so far. Both him and Edison had respectable runs in this heat race, as Edison tries to make his way back through the field after receiving that penalty for causing the last caution. It is Eaton now open up a little gap, and caution will fly. Second caution of this heat race. Let's see where it is. I see Danny Chandler slowed down. Not sure if it was completely him. And no, I don't think it was Chandler. I think it was the 83 car where the accident started with Kevin Cote-Dion. And yeah, let's see what happened here. So it looks like Kevin Cote-Dion was coming off the corner, and yeah, he just kind of came up into the 04 of Tyler Jalbert's line, and all the rest is history. The 83 went into the wall. The 37 of Arthur Hendren got involved. And yeah, that will bring out the caution flag. And what that does is it moves Danny Chandler and Matthew Bear up into transfer spots. So that's a big break there for Bear and Chandler, as we're going to get this thing restarted with around 10 laps to go. Thing worth noting, too, is Derek Colson is right on the bumper now. Ben Eaton again, and Eaton was having a hard time pulling away from that 5 car, so maybe Colson will have some sort of challenge here for Eaton. We will have to see. here is how it currently stands with your top 10 runners. Ben Eaton's in first, second's Derek Colson, third's Fred Robitaille, fourth is Jeremy Leto, fifth Jada Book, sixth Eric Edison, seventh Arthur Hendren, eighth Keith Frazier, ninth Matthew Baer, and 10th is Danny Chandler. And the first car out of a transfer spot, and really the only car that's kind of competing for one of those transfer spots that's not in one, is Kevin Cote Dion, as he sits in 11th, one lap down on the same lap as Danny Chandler and Matthew Baer. So we're going to get a restart with close to 10 to go. We're going to take a quick 30-second break for station identification. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with the epic conclusion of heat race number 3. And welcome back here to heat race number 3 of 4 for the XCAL Racing Oktoberfest 300. My name's Speedy J. Zettler. You're tuned in to Telesign TV as we get ready to get this one back underway. Looks like we're going to restart with 11 laps to go. And this should be a doozy of a finish here. Like I said, the 5 of Colson was running kind of quick laps towards the end, close enough to Eaton where he might be able to compete. Here we go, getting him doubled up. It's going to be Ben Eaton, who's led every lap of this race on the inside. His outside, Derek Colson. Robitaille 3rd, Leto 4th, DeBuke 5th, Edison 6th, 7th, Hendren, 8th, Frazier, 9th, Chandler, and 10th is going to be Dion as Matthew Baer decided to come down pit road and get some fresh tires, although Baer still will be restarting this race ahead of Dion due to Dion's EOL penalty. So here we come around the corner, field in the hand of Benjamin Eaton. It's up to him when and where he wants to take off. Eaton takes off now. Green flag in the air. We're down and away. And Colson with a pretty decent restart will hang with Eaton. Once again, Eaton kind of slid up a little earlier than you're supposed to. I'll be curious to see if race control has anything to say about that. That one wasn't as bad as the first one, but still an illegal move. Looks like nothing's going to come of it now as the 2 car shows the way. The 5's in second, and those transfer spot battles are heating up by the lap. It looks like Danny Chandler actually has given way to Kevin Cote Dion. The Danny Chandler machine looks like it's sustained some damage, so not sure what the issue is for Danny, but he's going to try to keep that car out there in front. We now have Jeremy Leto up to 3rd. Leto has gotten around Fred Robitaille, so Leto doing a good job driving that car up into the top 3. Leto's a pretty good wheelman when you get him on some of these shorter tracks, and he really has to wheel this thing. Up front, though, the battle is between Colson and Eaton, as those two are doing all they can to do the dance and go at it here. As I think Danny Chandler is not happy with the 18, as Chandler has made an attempt the last few laps to kind of hit that 18 car of Pierce, and it looks like the 113 of Chandler is actually doing a little bit of wall riding, and now he turns the 18 car. Oh, a big wreck on the front stretch. 2 cars go flipping, and I think the 113 of Danny Chandler has intentionally took out the 18 car there, and no caution's going to fly. But Chandler was not happy with the 18, and what that does is that pretty much sets up the top 10, that if you're in the top 10, you're good for a transfer spot right now. No reason to push it. As best battle on the racetrack right now is probably the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We have Robitaille all over Leto, and also all over Robitaille is going to be the 30, and the 62 gets in Jeremy Leto, sends Jeremy Leto around. Caution will fly. Leto was having a great run up in the top 3. Now his car goes flipping. It's important that he lands on his wheels, and he does, so he'll be able to continue out there. I think I saw another car involved. That's great news for Leto that he landed on his wheels. If he did not, he would have had to take in a tow, and Danny Chandler likely would have transferred. But lucky break there for Jeremy Leto that he was able to land on his wheels. Also pretty heavily involved with that was Matthew Baer, as we get the replay up for you here, and you're going to see that, the 62 just drove way too deep in the corner, turned the 24 around, and the rest is history. That brought out a caution. Tough break there for Jeremy Leto as he was just running up there in the top 3. Looked like he was going to have a good run, but you know what they say, it is what it is. As another thing to note, Matthew Baer got a pretty big piece of that accident, and he's running currently in 10th in the final transfer spot. We're going to have a restart, probably a green-white checkered. You'll have to wonder, does Baer have enough here to hold off Danny Chandler in the closing laps for that final transfer spot now with a motor that's likely damaged? Robitaille was assessed the penalty for that caution, as I got to give a shout out to the guy that's probably having the best run in this race right now, and that's Keith Frazier, running in the 4th position right now. Keith Frazier's ran with us for a little while here at XCAL Racing, and he's had some rough moments to start his career, some better ones, but he's one of those guys that struggled to find the speed for quite some time. But here we are in heat race number 3, and this guy's up there running in the 4th position, and not a scratch on that 55 car either. I'm looking at him right now, and yeah, he's had a pretty clean race so far. So to Keith Frazier, I hope I'm not jinxing, I'm knocking on wood, but up there in the top 5 with just about a green-white checkered to go. So a great day here for the 55 camp if he can hold on through this final restart. Only 8 cars sit on the lead lap. Bear and Dion both 1 lap down in 2 transfer spots. Here, let's take it down through the running. First is Ben Eaton, second's Derek Colson, third Eric Edison, fourth Keith Frazier, fifth Jay DeBuke, sixth Arthur Hendren, seventh Jeremy Leto, eighth Fred Robitaille, ninth Matthew Bear, and 10th is going to be Kevin Cote Dion. With the first car outside of a transfer spot is Danny Chandler in 11th, and really no one else is in contention. Also running on the track right now, the 04 of Tyler Jalbert's still out there 5 laps down, but he is done. Also out there 19 laps down is Michael DeLong, but obviously DeLong likely really has no chance either, as now Tyler Jalbert was given a black flag. I'm not sure what that was for, as Jalbert has been given a black flag and now he goes racing around the leaders, so I'm not sure what the issue is there with the Jalbert 04 car, but this time by we will be getting restarted. It's going to be Colson on the outside, Eaton on the inside. No, they're going to delay the caution. The caution has been delayed as Jalbert actually blinked out of the server. No, not going green this time, so we're waiting for the pace car to get back out there and rejoin the cars as the lights are on it. And there we go, it's going to rejoin the field, and oh my goodness, it does a little jump over the wall. This time by will be 1 to green, as now race control delays it one more time just to account for that little funky rejoin it just did. I'm excited for this final restart here. I want to see if Derek Colson has anything in his back pocket for Ben Eaton here, or if this is Ben Eaton's heat race to lose. So here we come. Next time by, they will be in the white flag indicating 1 more lap till we go green. It will be a green-white checkered shootout. Maybe a guy right here like the 30 car of Edison or the 55 of Keith Frazier can shake things up and steal this race away from Eaton, who, as I said, Eaton has led wire to wire so far. That 2 car, I'm sure, would like to just keep it that way and keep him out front. Here we go down the backstretch, heading down into turn number 3. The iRacing Ford Mustang will make that hard left-hand turn. Field in the hands of Benjamin Eaton. When and where will he let him rip this time? Does Colson have anything left in the tank for that 2 car? They come through turns 3 and 4. Colson draws even with him, and green flag is in the air. They're down and away. Eaton on the inside did get a good jump, but Colson didn't get that bad of a restart either. They head down into turns number 1 and 2. It's Eaton in the top spot. Colson rides right on his bumper. Colson is there. As they come off turn 2, they're about nose to bumper. Down into turns 3 and 4, Colson dives a little bit lower. Can Colson get a good run off? Colson gets a decent run off the corner. Here they come. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go. Does Derek Colson have anything left in the tank for Ben Eaton? They head down into turns 3 and 4. Colson's going to get a good run off the corner. Eaton got a little loose. Let's see if Colson dives it down into turn 3 and 4. Colson jumps to the inside. Nothing doing there. Checkered flag in the air. Ben Eaton wins heat race number 3. Second place is going to be Derek Colson. Third in a drag race at the line is going to be Eric Edison, barely over Keith Frazier, who had an excellent run in 4th. Arthur Hendren's 5th. 6th going to be Jay DeBuke. 7th, Jeremy Leto. 8th, Fred Robitaille. 9th, Kevin Cote Dion. And 10th in the final transfer spot was Matthew Bears. Danny Chandler just couldn't quite transfer. So that will wrap up heat race number 3, as we're going to try to key up now Ben Eaton for a victory lane interview. As we just getting down here to victory lane to talk to our winner. Bear with me for a moment, my friends. These walks to victory lane sometimes take longer than others. You know, sometimes there's a line at the hot dog stand. You kind of got to shoot people away as you're trying to get down there, or the wife of the winner is trying to talk to him for a minute. It's time for an interview. And there we go. Looks like I'm finally done with my walk down here to Victory Lane. We've caught up now with Benjamin Eaton. And Ben, as far as heat races go, this one was pretty smooth sailing for you, man. For the most part, you were just kind of out there by yourself, running smooth, clean laps. How'd the car feel out there for the most part?
Really good. I had no complaints with the car. I really didn't have any complaints with the car in the first heat race. So I ran there in 7, just got taken out early there. But no, it was a good car. I got to thank all my guys at Sullivan iRacing Motorsports for coming up with a really good set.
All right, Ben. Well, a good run. After a great run like that, a dominating performance in heat race number 3, how are you feeling about your chances tomorrow in the feature event, especially now knowing you're going to be starting in the top 4?
I feel really good about it. I really take to these high side tracks. I was really confident going into the first heat race. Hell, I've been confident all week about this. Really hoping for a good run tomorrow. The rest of my guys are in, and hopefully we all have a good run.
All right, Ben. Well, before I let you go celebrate a fun heat race victory with the team, who do you got to thank? Any teammates, sponsors, or crew you'd like to give a shout out here to in Victory Lane?
Yeah, I got to give a huge shout out to Patrick Sullivan. He's my car owner, and my teammate Bruce Helmuth. All the guys at Kenny Tripp's team too. We're all good buddies there. My boss Mark Simon for giving me time off to do this stuff, and his company MA Simon Trucking and Strawberry Fields Apothecary.
All right, well, congratulations to you on a great run here in heat race number 3, and best of luck tomorrow as we'll move you back with your teammates. And that'll wrap up the broadcast for heat race number 3. So a fun night of heat racing here for the XCAL Racing Oktoberfest 300. And Benjamin Eaton comes out on top here in heat race number 3. My name's PDJ Zeller. On behalf of Telesign TV, Tanner Kalin, as always, a fantastic job working the cameras. XCAL Racing, Aaron Hilbush and everyone there doing a great job to put on fantastic short track racing for the members of iRacing. Take it easy, folks. We will see you tomorrow night.